Of course it does. Because even the phone knows that you are not driving anymore. You are now family IT department, the entertainment manager, the internet provider, the cybersecurity specialist, the complaints department, and the emotional support animal. All the same, all at the same time. If you do not set the rules before the journey, the rules will be negotiated during the journey, and the negotiating screen time with a tired child is in the backseat is not a negotiation. It's a hostage situation. You are trying to focus on the road, and from the back seat you hear just 5 more minutes, and you say no, and the child says, "But this episode is almost finished," and you said, "How long?" "Almost," and the child, "42 minutes." This is not almost. That is documentary. A well-prepared iPhone can be a digital seatbelt, but unprepared iPhone can become a tiny chaos machine with a screen. And that chaos machine will be sitting right behind you, asking for your hotspot. Hi, this is Cyber Papa. Today we are going to talk about something that sounds very simple, very normal, very innocent. A long trip with child and the phone, which means we are not really talking about a trip. We are talking about the mobile command center on the back seat, because every parent knows this situation. The car is packed, the suitcases are in track, the snacks are ready, the water bottles are ready, the charger is somewhere. Nobody knows exactly where, but everyone is sure that we packed it. The child is sitting in the back. The seatbelt is fastened, the engine starts, you leave the driveway. And after about 7 minutes, times 3, sometimes before you even leave your street, you hear the first question: "Can I have my phone?" And this is where the real journey begins. Not the journey to the seaside, not the journey to the mountains, not the journey to grandma's house. The real journey is the internet is not working, my battery is low, I cannot download this game, this video is weird, my brother looked at my screen, she touched me or my phone, he changed the volume, I need your hotspot, I clicked something, and my personal favorite, that the phone says, I have to ask for your permission. Of course it does. Because even the phone knows that you are not driving anymore. You are now family IT department, the entertainment manager, the internet provider, the cybersecurity specialist, the complaints department, and the emotional support animal. All the same, all at the same time. And you are doing all of it while still trying to keep your eyes on the road. So today we are going to make this easier. We are going to talk about how to prepare your child's phone before a long trip. Not during the trip, not at the gas station, not while standing in a queue for coffee, not while one child is asking for fries and the youngest child says, "I think I feel sick," before the trip. Ideally, the day before the trip. Because a child's phone should be prepared just like the car, just like the luggage, the documents, and the snacks. And yes, I know some parents are very organized. They have the car, they check the car, they check the tires, they check the insurance, they check the hotel reservation, they check the weather, they check the route, they check whether the dog has water. And then the child's phone has 3% battery, no storage, no downloaded content, no limitations, no safe settings, and a cable that only works when you hold it exactly in 42 degrees and pray. So let's fix that. This episode is not about giving your child's phone for the whole journey and hoping the screen will magically solve every problem. It will not. The phone is not a babysitter. It is not a nanny. It is not a digital pacifier that works forever. Although, let's be honest, sometimes parents look at the phone in the car like a sacred object. Like, please, little rectangle of peace, give me 20 minutes of silence. I understand that. I am parent too. But the goal is not to let the phone take over the trip. The goal is to make the phone useful, safe, predictable, and under control. So your child can have entertainment, contact, and safety. And you can have something very rare on a family trip, a little bit of peace. Let's start with the first and most important rule. Prepare offline content before the trip. Do not assume the internet will work everywhere. It will not. There is always a forest, a tunnel, a mountain, a parking lot, a weak signal area, or a strange place where your phone says you have a full signal but nothing loads. This is one of the great mysteries of modern life. You see four bars, you feel hope, you open video, nothing happens. The child looks at you like you personally destroyed the internet. So before the trip, download things. Download movies or cartoons that you already approve. Download music. Download audiobooks. Download podcasts. Download maps. Download ebooks. Download offline games that do not require constant internet access. And if your child likes reading or listening to stories, this is a perfect moment to prepare something better than random videos. For example, this is exactly where Cyber Papa materials can help. In Cyber Papa course book, I explain step by step how to think about child's phone settings, safety limits, and permissions, and digital habits. It is practical guide for parents who do not want to panic, guess, or click random settings and hope for the best. But next to the course book, there are also Cyber Papa storybooks. And those are very useful for children because they explain digital safety through short stories. Not lectures, not scary speeches. Not when I was your age, we had one phone in the house and it was attached to the wall. Stories. Because children often understand stories better than instructions. A story can show what to do when a stranger sends a message. A story can show why not everything we see online is true. A story can show why some videos can make us feel bad. A story can show how to react when someone asks for a photo, a password, or private information. And a long trip is a surprisingly good moment for this. Instead of giving the child 3 hours of random algorithmic soup, you can give them something prepared, calm and meaningful. Because here's the important point. If you do not prepare the content, the algorithm will do it for you. And the algorithm is not your uncle. It is not your child's teacher. It is not come grandmother with tea and cookies. The algorithm does not say, oh, this child is tired after school. Maybe I should show something gentle and age appropriate. No. The algorithm says, here are 37 videos with screaming thumbnails, fast cuts, strange music, and one man opening mystery boxes in a swimming pool. So prepare content before the trip. This is the first step. Offline content means less stress, less fighting about the internet, fever, fewer surprises, and more control over what your child watches, hears, reads, and plays. The second step is screen time. And I know the moment some parents hear screen time, they think, oh no, more settings. But screen times is not punishment. It is not digital prison. It is not way to say, because I said so. Screen time is more like a seatbelt for attention. You do not put seatbelts because you hate freedom. You put it on because you care about safety. And the same idea applies here. A long trip does not have to mean 6 hours of continuous screen time. You can decide in advance 30 minutes of screen time, then a break. One movie, then an audiobook. Screens only after first hour. Games only offline. No YouTube without permission. No new apps during the trip. No in-app purchases, no endless scrolling. Because if you do not set the rules before the journey, the rules will be negotiated during the journey. And the negotiating screen time with a tired child is in the backseat is not a negotiation. It's a hostage situation. You are trying to focus on the road, and from the back seat you hear just 5 more minutes, and you say no, and the child says, but this episode is almost finished. And you said, how long? Almost. And the child, 42 minutes. This is not almost. That is documentary. So set the limits before. Use app limits for apps like YouTube, games, and social media. Use downtime if needed. Check content and privacy restrictions. Make sure installing new apps is blocked or requires permission. Make sure purchases and in-app purchase require approval, and explain the rules to the child before the cart starts moving, not as a threat, as a plan. You can say, we are going on a long trip. Your phone is ready. You have music, stories, and games. You can use it in parts of the journey, not all the time, but will also take breaks. This sounds simple, but it changes everything. Because children handle limits better when they know them in advance. The third steps is to prepare safe content. And this is different from just preparing content. Because content can mean anything. A video can be funny, a video can be educational, a video can be harmless. But a video can also be stressful, too mature, too violent, too strange, or simply too addictive. And in the car, the child may be tired, bored, excited, overstimulated, or already a little emotional. That means random content can hit harder. A scary video before bedtime is one thing. A scary video in a backseat at night on a dark road while the parent says we still have 3 hours to go is another thing. That is how family legends are created. So do not say, watch something. Prepare a digital playlist. Choose specific videos. Choose specific channels. Choose specific audiobooks. Choose specific games. Choose specific books and stories. And again, this is where the Cyber Papa storybooks fit naturally. They can be part of your travel pack. You pack snacks for the body, you pack stories for the mind. And hopefully, you pack less sugar for both. The goal is not to turn every minute into a lesson. Children also need fun. But fun does not have to be random. Fun can be safe, fun can be thoughtful, fun can still teach something. A good story about online safety is often much better than a parent suddenly turning around in the car and giving a lecture. But let's be honest, nobody enjoys lecture from the front seat. The child is thinking, I asked for a cartoon. Why am I now in conference room about privacy? So let stories help. A story can start a conversation naturally. Often the child listens to it, and then you can ask, what do you think of the character in the story? What should she have done? What would you tell if someone sent you a strange message? Do you think everything online is real? That is much better than listen carefully because I will now explain the entire internet. The fourth step is location and emergency contact. This is where the phone becomes more important than entertainment. It becomes a safety tool. Before a long trip, check whether location sharing is set up properly. Use family sharing, use Find My. Make sure your child device is visible to you. Make sure your child knows how to call you. Make sure important contacts are saved. Mom, dad, grandparents, another trusted adult. If you're staying in a hotel or apartment, save the address somewhere the child can find it. If the child is old enough, explain what to do if they get separated from you at a gas station, airport, train station, parking lot, shopping center, or hotel. These places are busy, and children can move surprisingly fast, especially when they see snacks. 1 second on the child is next to you, the next second they are emotionally connected to a shelf of chocolate bars. So the phone can help, but only if it's prepared. Check emergency SOS. Check medical ID if appropriate, and check that the phone has enough battery. Check that Find My is on. Check that the child knows your phone number or at least knows where it is saved. And make sure the child understands one simple rule. The phone is not only for fun, the phone is also for contacts and safety. So this is the first part of Cyber Proper checklist. Before the trip, prepare offline content, set screen time limits, choose safe content, set screen time limits, choose safe content, use stories instead of random algorithmic noise, and make sure the phone can help with locations and emergency contact. In the second part, we will talk about the internet and hotspot rules, travel, photos, privacy, technical preparation, stronger passcodes, family rules, and the final checklist every parent should go through before leaving home. Because a well-prepared iPhone can be a digital seatbelt, but unprepared iPhone can become a tiny chaos machine with a screen. And that chaos machine will be sitting right behind you asking for your hotspot. This is CyberPapa. Follow for more practical digital parenting tips. See you in the part 2.